Yo, what up, Tommy?
Yo, Shawn, what's good, man? Welcome back to another Bag Talk 101. Man, how's your week going, bro?
So far, I'm ready for another break, man.
Ready for another one already?
Man, these
Or
kids,
you almost to the finish line, ain't you?
man, they purposely try to get on my nerves. Like this kid today kept doing like the little squeaky thing with his shoes. I'm like, man, this is annoying.
That's hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
How many? What y'all got? Like 2-3 more weeks, right?
For what? Until summer break?
Yeah. Like, well, no, about 5.
I got like a month and a half.
A month and a half?
Yeah.
Bro, wait, hold on. You got to go all the way through May? When they get out, June?
Yeah, the middle of June.
Is that normal?
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy. We never like when I was in school, we never went past
college. We was getting out in May. You know what I'm saying? But now I don't get out till June.
Bro, our high school, the high school I went to, we got out in May. And maybe it was because it was nested with the local university, because SIU was basically on top of the town. So maybe that makes a lot more sense, man. Y'all been going through it then. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But hey, shout out to you, bro. Hey, stay the course, bro. You know. Don't quit.
I'm tired of going in on these kids, man. I don't got the energy no more. I was just having a conversation with one of my guys about, we was recording a podcast episode about, the newer generation, and it was just like, and then my coworker today, he was talking about like people dedicating their lives to the students and stuff like that, man. It can take a lot out of you, bro. It can definitely take a lot out of you. But yeah, man, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you and everything that you do. Currently this week, man, I'm working on getting my schedule, my routine. So I've been utilizing the Notion app to routinize everything that I do. So as far as, my budget, all that stuff, when I'm going to wake up, what I'm going to do during that time hack, it allows me little toggle buttons so I can look at what I had listed. Like I've been getting real thorough. But what I found is I've gotten more time to, work on the things that I want to, and be a little more thorough in the things that I'm producing. And I'm killing it at work, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm just on top of the new things. And so it's pretty dope. Before we start off, today we're talking about, the finance piece, you know what I'm saying, of, buying a vehicle and purchasing a vehicle. When we talk about this, we want you guys to shop smart, right? I can really speak for myself. I've made a lot of mistakes in buying vehicles. You know what I'm saying? I've bought over 8 vehicles in my short, buying time. And, the truth is used cars are expected to drop by as much as 20% in price as far as 2023 as the inventory starts to stabilize. So we want you to be equipped to go out there and make the best decisions. But before we get to that point, we want to pull up this video and show y'all a little spoof. We like to do like these little videos, you know what I'm saying, to, lighten the mood a little bit. So let's talk about the car salesman when you pull up to the lot, because it's the guy you're gonna have to gal you're gonna have to deal with.
Like this color?
Yes, sir. Oh yeah, Mustang, right?
Mustang, brand new, 2022. Okay, listen, just got redesigned by Ford himself. Okay.
Ooh, how much is this one?
This one? Oh, the price is gonna be about no. Listen, that's not your price. Your price is what I tell you. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only working with like 10,000.
10,000 what?
Dollars.
Oh yeah, we gonna go this way. This is not your section.
But
no, we gonna go to clearance. Come on.
So you said this is clearance?
Yeah, this gonna be clearance right here. Just this car. Don't point at nothing else. Just this car right here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know why they call it Ford Escape?
Why?
Because once I put you in that car loan, there's no escape.
Oh, okay. You think I can get approved on this one?
On this one?
Yeah, this one.
Go ahead. Don't even worry about that. Go ahead and write your social. Take this, write your social down, and tell me how much you make a year, okay?
You gotta know the whole year?
All of them.
Okay. Whoa.
So you wasn't gonna tell nobody you made $100,000 a year?
I mean, I was trying to keep some eggs in my own basket. I didn't want to be too honest.
I haven't been honest with you at all.
Oh.
Congratulations, you just got approved, sir.
Shit, thank you, man.
You're welcome. Shake my hand, goddamn it. Like this color?
Yes, sir.
Bro, that's and that's the craziest part about getting in and purchasing a vehicle, whatnot. Is you meet all types of different characters, especially when they run your credit score. It can even be that conversation where you sitting down for a couple hours trying to see how they can finesse you into a vehicle, or you got to settle for something that you didn't like. You know what I'm saying, or something like that. So we want y'all to be very prepared when you walk in there, and a part of the preparation is considering the factors. Shawn, what is your number one factor when considering buying a vehicle?
So, Tommy, I've never bought a new vehicle in my life. Matter of fact, I never even bought a used vehicle in my life. My mom drove around in a PT Cruiser for like, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years. And then she wanted to go buy an Infinity. Okay. So I was like, Mom, let me get the PT Cruiser then. And she was like, it's 10 years old and it's about to be, 80,000 miles. I'm like, I don't care, Mom. I'm not about to go out here and spend my money on a new car or a used car. I just take the one that you barely drive. So I ended up taking that to EIU, and then I just used that until like even the beginning of my professional career. But let's say if I was, on the market for looking for a car, price would probably be my highest point. Like how much I would spend on a car. I'm a budgeting man, bro. So I'm gonna stick to the budget. That would be my biggest. What about you?
Okay, with me, I'm looking at what I'm saying. One of the biggest factors that I'm looking at is credit score. And I'm gonna zoom in here real quick and pull this up. But so when we actually look at the credit score piece, right? I have financed cars with a low credit score, and I've financed cars with a 700 plus credit score, right? And the problem is when people actually look at the numbers, they're not actually looking at the numbers. They're looking at the fancy car. I made this decision and I paid for it more times than one. And the thing was, when I was making this decision, I was also riding around getting it, right? So I would get in an accident or something, right? Now that's on your credit, right? If the vehicle gets totaled and, and you can't make the payments or it affects your work, different things like that. So I have been in the trenches, and that's why I can speak on, the numbers. And so if we're actually looking at these numbers, the first thing when it comes down to credit score is think about what you can actually afford. Your credit score is a good indicator of your ability to pay. I know a lot of people want to rush to get a better credit score. That's fine and dandy. I get it. But at the same time, your credit's saying, hey, does this person have a history of paying? And that's why you kind of have one of those things. You look at it, I look at it, I'm like, okay, can I pay it? Now, the difference between your credit score. So, doing the research on this, at a 750 credit score, you can get up to, 85,000 plus in loan amount, right? But with a 650 credit score, the lower your credit score is, the lower the amount that you can get approved for. And so when I ran these numbers, I ran them based off of, say we all is fair in love and war, and we want to get approved for a $35,000 car, right? So as your credit score evolves, right, you pay less in APR. And here's one of the things that people don't understand about interest rates. That is the interest rate on each payment that you make every month. That's not off of the loan amount. So where you might calculate and say, oh yeah, I'm only going to owe 6%. No. You're going to owe over the life of that loan if you don't pay that off early. So the difference here, if we're looking at this chart here, the 750 credit score, right? 41,000 is what you're going to pay in the total of the life of the loan. And this is based off of, I believe, the 72 month that I calculated it on was the 72 month. And then, so if you jump down, though, you got the 500 credit score. You ain't really got one. A lot of cats, I know they go to these dealers, they money one right. They work the 9 to 5, minimum wage job, but they need a whip. But the problem is they haven't focused on their credit score. I had a conversation with a gentleman a few weeks back where I was, he was like, oh, okay, I'm trying to, make some money moves. What should I do? I was like, well, you got debt. He was like, yeah, I got a hospital bill, but I ain't paying that. And I was like, whoa, hold on, fam, this is going to affect your credit, right? We got to make sure we're watching those things. But those small differences, that's a $21,000 difference that you're going to pay on a vehicle. With a 500 credit score, you could literally have bought 2 vehicles for the life of that loan. And that's the crazy part is we have to be very, very intentional. So, that's really my main factor is the credit score. Make sure that you have your ducks in a row before you go to that dealership and you decide that you are going to finance. I don't, the truth is, as a Dave Ramsey baby, I want to say, and we'll get to this, right? I want to say, hey, make sure that, you pay it in cash. But I'm okay with financing if you have the right amount of collateral. You also have, the right amount of, debt ratio to, how much you're making on your income. And so those are some things that I'm looking at. So, if we're looking at our next bullet here, how should I pay? What are my options? Shawn, so if we're looking at, the options for paying for a vehicle, what are you looking at? What is your, how are you looking to pay for it? Are you still on Ramsey or what's up?
So I'm still on Dave Ramsey plan, man. And Dave Ramsey actually teaches you shouldn't even be out here buying new cars until your net worth is $1 million. If I had to go get a car right now, I would go into my bank and probably take out, $5 grand, 10 grand or something like that and ride around with that.
Okay.
Bro, like,
so you paying for the whole thing in 10 grand cash?
Yeah. I'm not financing no car, bro. I'm sorry, I'm not. Okay. I'm not signing any papers. Man, people out here getting electric vehicles for like 80,000 to 100,000 now. Like, no, I don't want the payments. I'm good. I would rather just, pay up front, for a used vehicle or whatever. I don't even need a brand new car. I'll take the used car any day. I go look at how many miles it got, take it up to the shop, ask them what needs to be done. I do all of that. That's fine with me. Me riding around with a brand new whip don't mean it ain't gonna be no problems. It can still be some problems, bro. An engine can go out on a new car. It's all mechanical. Anything can happen at any time. So the way I look at it, as long as I get something that's decent, I'm happy.
So I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'm not with paying for the car in cash, especially not at this time in the market. We just got out of COVID, right? If you got the cash, cool, do your thing. If you can buy a newer vehicle with cash, cool. But $10,000 in this market is not going to get you much of a car. And then you also have to look at the fact that with that $10,000, you're not, the quality of the car, even if you find one, is typically going to be a lower quality, especially in bigger cities, right? There have been a lot of cases where CarMax was buying all these vehicles and these used vehicles, and they were buying them from the wrong people. People were buying the used cars, and then they were getting fleeced because a lot of the tags had been flipped on them. If you look at the Kia market, a lot of the Kia vehicles, they were getting tapped into because somebody had gotten the codes to get into them. For me, when I look at buying a vehicle, I look at reassurance. I look at quality. So for me, when I'm financing, I'm looking for the warranty. Okay, if something does happen in that vehicle, I can get that vehicle taken care of within the lifetime of the warranty. Now, when I actually look at these, I'm looking at 3 options to pay. Here are my paying option tiers. And I've done all 3 of these in the 8 vehicles that I've purchased. So my number 1 is I'll probably be financing. The reason why, I make a decent enough salary, I'm fine right now, right? I'm cool. It also gives you the opportunity to pay it off early. Second, I'd go cash, right? I'm with you. But my cash gonna be more if I'm buying in cash, I'm spending more like the 20 grand range. I'm spending 20 to 25 grand to make sure I at least get something that's decently solid. If you got the cash, it will reduce your debt, right? So you can use that money elsewhere. However, if you're utilizing your cars the right way, you can also use that amount of money to get interest on what you were going to pay, through and different things like that. Paying for the car in cash. If you got that on your card, now you look at the percentage rate that you actually have on your car. You go and you purchase the car, you can be good to go. And then leasing, that's the last. Like that is, I will never ever lease again unless I'm in the spot where I'm just balling. I got it. Pulling up, okay, I'm finna lease the Land Rover. I probably wouldn't even do that. I don't even like Land Rovers, to be honest. Like for me, I'm like a 1 and 2 car guy, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much a 1 car type of cat. Right now, you know what I'm saying? I got the Audi, you know what I'm saying, sitting outside looking nice. I'm good to go.
But I'm simple. Like I don't have any dreams of owning Maseratis or anything like that. If I want to drive a Maserati or something like that, I go do rentals in Florida or something like that. But the reason why I'm so anti-leasing is because you're restricted on mileage. Once you go over that certain amount of mileage, say it's 40,000 miles in mileage. Once you get over that amount, you start paying per mile on that mileage, right? So if you somebody that you live in a city and you got to drive from here to here, consider that. You might be in a place where they offer you, you get a gig that is 45 minutes away, but they paying real good, right? So if you put yourself in a lease, you are limited on the amount of mileage you can put on those vehicles, right? But here's the other thing about leases. A lot of people riding around getting it, but they getting it on the lease because the lease, when you get a lease, is typically a lower payment, right? Because you locked into that range of, hey, you don't even own that vehicle. They own it. So at the end of the lease, they can tell you to bring that vehicle back. They typically give you the option to buy that vehicle after, but at the same time, you got to consider, hey, am I still going to be covered underneath warranty? Right? You just leased a product out that's not yours. So you ultimately, at the end of the life of the loan, you're not really going to own the vehicle outright. So those are just, things that you want to consider. Hey, but I'm going to tell you, I respect your opinion. Hey, as a Dave Ramsey, baby, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when I got back, from my deployment, I'd have made some great moves. I was like, I need to reward myself. And so I'm just at a different, plane in my life. But that also doesn't mean when we were talking about, making different decisions based off credit, I'm not over leveraging myself. I'm not going to buy a house anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing the long game. So you got to, look at your assets and your liabilities and what you got going on in your life, and your circumstances may dictate that. We just want you to be smart about it.
Yeah. I just want to say, when I did come across the option of buying a new car or a used car, when my PT Cruiser went out, I decided to ride the bus because I was like, the bus is only $100 a month. And then I was like, you know what? Like, if I was to go get a car payment, how much would it be, bro? Like $400, $500 a month.
Well, in these days, you're not even looking at $400, $500 car payments anymore.
What is it now? Like 600, 700, 800?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's escalated. Yeah, a lot of these, it was, and that was the thing, is getting back. I was looking at, not so premium vehicles, and I was looking at premium vehicles, right? And a lot of the car payments were similar, but I had to get a vehicle regardless. And so I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and get what I want. If I'm gonna be, I'm gonna wake up every day, I feel different. When I pull off of my whip and I go to work, I feel different. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different energy. I'm like, I got convenience right here. Everything is nice. So that's just me though. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, my job is 7 minutes away. I don't need to feel that.
Yeah. You see, you got a whole different situation. Hey, respectfully, I'm in a different boat. You got, you married, you got the house, you got everything, you got, you know what I'm saying? You got a whole different situation. So it depends on what the situation is and how you go about that. Either way, you can still make smart financial decisions to set yourself up later. But it also, looking at it, and when you walk into corporate America in a lot of different rooms, regardless, and a lot of people, they may respectfully disagree with this, but when you pull up in something nice, there is something that's added to it. And a lot of the positions that I'm tied to are, managerial, high level, future CEO type positions, executive type positions. So there is an image that does come along with that. You know what I'm saying? It would be like, walking into the office, everybody wearing, suits, and you in there wearing gym shoes, you know what I'm saying? And you got your jersey on, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times in a lot of situations, if you made it to a certain level, you have to, look the part to be there. And a lot of times it does make a difference. They're like, this is somebody that I want to be around. This is something I want to do. But we in two different career fields, right? We got two different jobs, but we passionate about the dollar. So there we are. But this leads us to, so if you were to, Shawn is sitting down, right? He's at the dealership, or he could be at the friend crib. Give us your number one tip for negotiating the best deal.
That's why I like using cash. I can negotiate with simply that. Ain't too many people walking around, with $10,000 cash. Other people got to go get a loan, and what if their credit is messed up and then they got to pay interest on that? It is like, nah. I'm like, bro, I got the cash with you, with me right now. What you want to do? Like, it's just that simple. And then I could just be like, you know what? It's all good. right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm negotiating in the back of my, so when I think we talked about this, the negotiating book, you got to be okay with being able to walk away. Like, being able to walk away is power. It's a form of power and a form of leverage that you can use in order to get a lot of things that you want. Okay. So if I come up to you, Tommy, and you got a car, I'll be like, yo, I see you got a used car, in the back that you don't really use, and I see you got a new car. Can I buy a used car offer you? And you be like, well, what would you offer? Obviously, I'm gonna go, with a low number, like, oh, I give you like 3,000 for it. And you start laughing or whatever. You be like, no, I can't let it go for 3,000. Can you do like 7? I'm like, nah. What about 4 though? And you be like, what about 6? And then I'm like, all right, what about 5? Come on, bro, 5,000, and then you let it go for the 5, right? Because it's not even a card that you're using, so why not? It's a win-win for the both of us. I get the car in the backyard that you never use, and you get 5,000.
Okay. Hey, I respect it. I respect it. Well, here's the thing: is when I look at this negotiating, I look at you have to time the market, figure out when the best time is to buy. And look at those things. Okay. Typically at the end of the month, what I'm saying? Like a lot of people might be rushing to, sell vehicles, right? So you might get a better rate because they're trying to meet their quota. At the dealership that, I worked at, man, back in the day, they'd be like, hey, Tom, is that car clean yet? Hey, can we get that up out of there? I worked at a dealership when we was at EIU. And, but they was at the end of the month, they was trying to meet them quotas. They was trying to, get that money in. So they can have that big old check. And it's one of those things where, shopping at the end of the month, seeing what the deals are. My biggest things when I'm looking at buying a vehicle and I'm negotiating, even with cash, at times they will try to finesse you out of that cash. I know Shawn ain't going, but a lot of people, that might tap in, they might be going. And so you got to look at that. So 3 things that I'm looking at. I'm looking at leverage, right? Make sure you shop around. Right? Look at multiple vehicles that match that vehicle description, and you might find something better. Right? Bring a mechanical friend that taps into that value. Make sure you get that car inspected and checked out, even if you buy it from the dealership. So a lot of times, what will happen is you'll take that car and you'll drive it around, and then there might be you look underneath it. The engine may be leaking oil. Right? That is a sure way of understanding. Okay, I'm probably gonna have a lot of issues with this vehicle, just off site, especially if it's at a dealership, because that means they just got it in, right? And they haven't even had the inspection. I can't tell you how many times they get a vehicle in one day and then the next day it's up out of there. They had somebody, tap the roof, it looked like, what I'm saying? And then they sold that vehicle the next day. And time, we talked about leverage, value, and time. I'm glad that you touched on this, brother. Don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to walk away. Because there are hundreds and thousands and millions of vehicles out there. You just got to find the right one, the one for you. You ain't got to have all the bells and the whistles. Maybe you sacrifice this year, right? Because Shawn like cash. Maybe you sacrifice this year, right? And then you take, you do the Uber thing or whatever. And next year, you got 20 grand, right? Maybe next year will be a better time to shop, right? Because we talked about, the fact that, 20%, what I'm saying, the vehicles may drop, the inventory may drop as much as 20% in 2023 as the inventory stabilizes. So we want y'all to shop smart. We want y'all to, make the right decisions. Shawn, did you have anything before we wrap up?
Don't be afraid to take the bus if nobody willing to negotiate.
Hey, okay. Shawn. Look, hey, I'm taking Uber, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, however you get around.
Hey, listen, it's $100 for that bus, all right? And you can max out your Roth IRA with the other $700 a month.
Okay. Hey, look, hey, do your thing. Do your thing. I'm with you. Without further ado, we appreciate y'all tapping in. This has been another episode of Bag Talk 101. I'm Tommy.
I'm Shawn.
We appreciate y'all.